Welcome to the first of many to come workshops. Very simple, short, um, innovative workshops that I would like to provide to the community, given my expertise and my knowledge in blockchain, cryptocurrency, distributed ledger, cybersecurity, and anything related to the cloud and what it encompasses in terms of decentralization and management in terms of the cloud itself. So I wanted to start these snippets of small workshops or small webinars, short, to the point, concise, and easy to understand, and mostly demonstrations. So today's demonstration is going to be surrounding self-sovereign identity, or SSI as they call it, or distributed or decentralized identities, identities that belong to the users and not a third party or some centralized SQL database. So in this demonstration, as you can see in the website here, in the video, is that we have a login page, which is happens to be Trinsic. Just as an example, this could be IBM, this could be it could be the central bank, it could be a financial bank, it could be an institution, a government institution, it could be any type of portal. But the idea here is that the user is confronted with most of these portals, whether you are on a website using your computer or you are using some kind of mobile device. To my right, as you can see here, is my actual phone. So this is a depiction of my phone and my icons on my phones. So we will start, we will use an app simulating a user logging into a portal or a website. And so this is going to be Trinsic in this example. As you can see in Trinsic, we first have to provide a user ID for this user to start using it. So it could be an administrator, it could be a regular user. So the first thing we have to do is provide these credentials, give these credentials to the user. In other words, you have to give the user a username and password. So you tell them, okay, this is going to be an initial username, and this is going to be your user password. And once you get in it, you have to change your password, and it's got to be more than 8 characters and all these other things that we are all used to. So this is typically the same in this process. So the first thing I'm going to do in this portal, I'm going to go ahead and log in using the password, because you have two different options. You have login with credentials, and we'll see what what that means, or you can log in with a password. So the traditional way of logging in, you give a username and password. So I'm going to pick that one, and you get the typical login prompt at your portal, which means go ahead and put in your email and put in your password, and off you go. So I'm going to go ahead and provide that. So I've given the username, which in this case is the email, and I'm giving a password. So I have these two things that I personally know and nobody else knows. So I go ahead and log in, and obviously the website checks in the SQL database, some centralized database, make sure that username and password is correct, and then it says, hey, William is now logged in. Perfect. I'm in the system, no problem. So now think of me as an administrator. I happen to log in, so I got to give myself a credential that would not require a password. So then I go into my account settings and say, okay, fine. I'm gonna go ahead and give William, in this case myself, but it could be any account in the system. We're gonna give him a wallet. Now, before all this happens, you see the wallet that I have here. We provided that to all the users, including the administrators. The administrators will have this wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and run this wallet. Now this is a white label, so it could be tailored specifically with the logos and the look and feel of your company or your organization or your government, for that matter. So as you can see here, the wallet is pretty much generic, but it has two different parts down here. So you've got a little house here, which is your home base, which is where you do most of the work in the case of scanning a QR code, and we'll get to that. And then you have your actual wallet, the wallet that you have on your, you have your cellular, you have your passport, you have your ID, you have your credentials, you have them all physically in one place, right? So this is the same idea. It's an app that keeps all these things together, protected and secured. Now, all these things get protected and secured by you protecting them with certain mechanisms in place. For example, you would provide some kind of, you would have to save and write down and keep safe a certain number of private numbers or words that will keep that wallet safe. So in the case of you lose your phone, just like you lose your wallet, you can recover that wallet, you can recover the content of the phone. So those are the things that go behind the scenes, and there are extra steps that the users have to take in place. But it's a one-time thing, and it's pretty safe. But in this case, I have nothing in my wallet. So what we want to do now is want to set up a wallet. So we go into the website, so the administrator is ready to set up the wallet for the user, in this case himself, basically. So I click on that, and it actually says, okay, fine, I know your email, so I just have sent a QR code to your address, basically, so that you can use the wallet that I just gave you to set up in your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android phone. You have that application running, which is what I have here, which is empty at this point in time. And I go ahead and go to my email, and I will look for an email just sent to me. So this is a relationship that the organization has with the individual user, so nobody can get access to this. So I open up my email, and I will see in here some description. You've received a login credential. So these are credentials. This is like giving you, here's your wallet, sorry, here's your ID, put it in your wallet. Basically, I've issued the ID, put it in your wallet. So I take my wallet, which I have here, and I decide to scan this code. So I'm going to go ahead and scan the code. So I just hit on scan code. I bring my wallet up to the QR code, and it comes up and it scans the code. And what happens is that you will see in the I'm going to go back to my portal, because I'm going to log out at this point in time. I've issued myself an ID. So now I have an ID. So I don't have to worry about password anymore. So what happens is that this wallet, basically that message from your email provides me with, okay, I know that you'll be given a full name, which is William Case, and I agree, that's my name. And also we agree that you have an email, that's your email, that's going to be your user ID, and your account ID, in this long ID that we have assigned to this user ID. So you have this in place. Now it's asking me, do you want to accept this as the ID that we're giving you? And then in the case I say, yeah, that's correct, everything looks good, right? So I go ahead and accept. Once I accept, what happens is that it goes out and writes this information into the blockchain, into a type of a decentralized blockchain, DLT. So the company itself, Trinsic in this case, is writing this information, this transaction, which just got authenticated, and writes it immutably into this database, which can be now distributed throughout the internet. So it's not one central location. So my wallet is basically back to how it was before. The one difference is that if I click on wallet, for example, I will see a Trinsic login. That's like my ID to get into the company. And that Trinsic log has the information that I agreed upon, or they provided to me and say, yeah, that's exactly what I am. My name is William K. Santiago, my email is depicted there, and my account ID, which they assigned to me, is that one. So now I have all this information. So now what happens is that I then decide, okay, fine, perfect. And then now I'm going to go ahead and log into this. But since I have this identity, now I can walk up to the front desk. I can walk up to a bouncer at and let's say this Trinsic happened to be a bar. And I walk up to the bar and I say, I'm an employee of the bar, or I'm just a patron of the bar, whatever. But the bar or the company has to log you in, let you in, right? So the way they do this is, again, providing you, say, in the transition area, it will say, okay, if you still have a password that you only know, then go ahead and give it to me. But since passwords is like legacy, 21st century kind of thing, now we're looking at login with credentials. I'm going to click that one. And what it does, it says, okay, fine. I'm going to generate this QR code, which has this specific information that we're asking from you. And please scan with using your wallet. So what happens is that I will scan. So I will click on the scan button. And you see my wallet again. So I'm scanning just like I did with my email, but now I'm doing it at the portal. And immediately it scans the QR code. And it goes back and says, okay, we need from you, this is what the bouncer is asking, this is what the receptionist is asking, the police officer at the bottom of the building before they let you into the building or the organization is asking you, what's your email? You know, so I give them my email. What's your account number? What's your full name? Is all of this is this correct? And I say yes, all of this information is correct. So I'm going to present this to the portal. So when I click on present, what it's actually doing, it's actually signing, verifying that this is indeed me. So what they do is they grab that signature and they actually look at the blockchain, because it's not looking at their own databases. They're looking at the blockchain. And when they look at the blockchain, they see that the signature match. What they have, what they see on the blockchain, and what I sign is completely exactly the same. So they say, this is William. So we will let him in. So now I logged in without a password, in essence. And that's exactly what this technology brings. Because there's a reduction in cost in terms of the portal or the company or the government agency or the bar or the organization. It doesn't matter. They will reduce their costs because now they're relying on a decentralized database that they don't have to maintain. Secondly, the security is much higher because now you have a device that has some kind of secret, just like a password, but that gets never transmitted between you and the organization. And because remember, when I presented, what I did is I was able to sign my signature. I never gave my hand, which is the actual originator of the signature. You know, the actual secret key that created that signature was never handed over to the portal. In the case of a password, you are actually handing over the password. You're handing over your hand that makes the signature to them. And they will then, you have to trust them to compare the two to make sure that you are who you are. So this is, in a sense, a step forward. So I just wanted to bring this up because this is extremely important in terms of decentralization and providing benefits to users to use this new technology. And it has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. It doesn't have to do with Bitcoins and Ethereums and all these other DeFi aspects about what's going on in the hype of the finance world in terms of monetary. This is an actual blockchain solution that solves an identity solution. It's something that could be applied for voting, it could be applied for property rights, it could be applied for a lot of different subjects. So I hope you enjoy this, and hoping that I will make more of these often and provide them to the community. And if you like my video, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you soon in the next one. Thank you.